Okay, so this is my sleeve pattern. In case you do not know how to draft the sleeve pattern, be sure you check the link in the description box. Yes, I promise to drop the link there. Okay, so now you can extend this pattern to have a long sleeve. Okay, so if you desire, or if you want a long sleeve, then you do that, you extend it. Now I will be needing another paper. All I need to do is to just place this paper right here. So now you need to, from here, from this point to this point, I'm going to be measuring 6 inches. Now you can measure 6 inches, you can measure 7, you can even measure 8. This depends on how exaggerated you want it to look, how, can I say pointed, how high, yeah, you want it to look. Do you understand? So it actually depends on your preference. So now I'm going to be measuring 6 inches. Okay, I'm going to measure 6 from here. Now I'll measure 6 inches. From here I'll measure 6. So I'll just take my ruler and join together. Okay, so can you see I have joined the point together? So I'll just place my pattern here and use your tape to secure. After securing with the tape, the pattern to the paper, I now measure from here the length of my sleeve and transfer the measurement to this point, to the very beginning. So from here to here is 11. Now from here to here is 11 as well. So, and I connected with a straight line. Can you see? So now what I'm going to do next is to divide this by 2. Okay, is to find the midpoint. So the midpoint here is 3 inches because the line is actually 6 inches. Can you see now? So now from this point I'm going to raise it. If you look at the picture closely, you will see that the is a bit raised. In fact, it's not even a bit, it's really raised, high. The sleeve is actually high. Okay, so it now depends on how high that you want it to look or be. So I'm going to just measure like 2 inches or 2.5, and you can also measure 3 inches. So I'm just going to be in the middle. I'll measure 2.5 inches. I'm just going to connect. Okay, and before I do that, I'm going to just connect from here to this point. Okay, so just do it this way. Like something like this. Do you understand? Can you see? Sorry about that. I think this is how it's supposed to be. I think it's better this way. So then you go with 2.5 or 2 inches or 3 inches. So I decided to be in the middle. So all I'm just going to do is to just, can you see? And if you notice that this place is a bit sharp, you can also bring it down a little. Let me try to bring it down by 1/4 of an inch, so that that line will be a bit smooth. Can you see? So I'm just going to I'm going to just make it very clear by using my marker pen. Okay. hope you can see what I'm doing. All right, so this is what I think it should look like. Okay, so now I'm going to be cutting it out. Can you see? I'm done cutting it. Can you see how it looks now? This is the look it will give. Okay, so I'm just going to cut on fabric and ensure you add your seam allowance here. You add your seam allowance all, you know, round. And like I said, you can actually mix, you can make use of lace on the down part and use a plain fabric for this part. You can use a light material for the down part, then you make use of a thicker material, thicker fabric for the upper part. I hope you understand my point. So, and this is just a tutorial, so I don't really need to, you know, extend it. So now I'll be cutting on the fabric. Once I'm done, you'll see what I mean. Okay guys, can you see that I have cut it out? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to start joining, but before I do that, I'm going to remove the pins. And you know that here I have my front and my back on the same, okay, single pattern. So I'm just going to trace my front, you know, curve on this part. So all I will do is just to remove one here. I'm going to remove one. So let's assume this is right side to right side. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just to do it this way, okay. Then I'm going to maybe make this side my front, so I'll just pick my scissors and okay, can you see this is my front, this is the right side now, this is my back. So just pick my chalk now and indicate. Okay, I don't have a chalk here, but I can use this. So this is my back, okay, then this is my front, and this is the right side. So all I'm just going to do is to bring together to the wrong side, meaning right side to right side, and from here I'm just going to notch. I'll notch this part, okay, I'll notch this part. You know, this here, this curve here is going to be attached to my armhole, my body's armhole. Okay, so I'll just notch a little here. Okay, so now from here I'm going to sew this way. I'm joining these two together on the wrong side. I'll sew here round to this point. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to show you that. But before I sew, sorry about that, I need to add my interfacing. Now for this, I would advise you make use of either a thick fabric, and if you know you're not using a thick fabric, I would advise you add interfacing to the wrong side of each of these pieces, okay, so that it will give it a you know, a little structure. It needs to be well structured, okay, with a very good interfacing. And I would recommend a probably peplum stay or collar stay. And if you are using that, you need lining for this, okay. This is a calico, so I will just add my stay so that you guys can see how, you know, the structure it will give it. But I would advise, if you're making use of a soft fabric like this, you add maybe your collar out, a very hard stay actually, so that, you know, it can give it a good structure. All right, so I'm going to be adding my stay right now. Once I'm done, I will now join this part. Okay, so I am done joining the two together on this shape. Okay, Can you see? So now it's, if you want to add, you want to extend it, maybe you've done the pattern already, so this is the right time to actually join whatever you want to join to the upper part. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So maybe if you really wanted a long sleeve, or you wanted to have about 2 fabrics to make a long sleeve, so this is the right time for you to join the other part to it. I hope you understand. So right now I need you to just notch a little, so that by the time I iron it, it will rest properly on the right side. Okay, so I'm done with ironing it. Can you see how flat it's looking now? This is very lovely. So you can actually make this design, this shape bigger, and you can even make a kind of scallop shape here. Okay, maybe you something like this. So you can just play around with this kind of design. This is a very lovely one. So like I said, you know, if you are adding another fabric to the down parts, maybe you already had a pattern for the long sleeve and all that. So this is, of course, this is the right time. I said it the other time. So now I can now turn to the just bring the sides together, right side to right side. So this is the side. So I'm just going to, you know, bring the 2 sides together. From here, I'm just going to run my stitch down. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to just hang it on the mannequin too, so that you guys can see how it looks.